Hi Green Heroes! We're here at Divert Nova Scotia and we're going to talk to Rob and Kathryn about all of the ways that they recycle here at the recycling facility. And I can't wait to see all of the amazing things that they do here. Let's go! Hey, I'm here at Divert Nova Scotia and I'm here with Rob and Kathryn. We're going to go check out the recycling facility. Let's go! So is this where we start the tour?
Generally, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what am I looking at?
This is we call it the glass side of the warehouse, where we process the glass and do all our quality control counts. So we kind of select a certain number of bags from each depot and count them just to make sure that the consistency is there for what they're telling us, what we're paying them for and that. So.
Nice.
And then, yeah, we store the glass here. It comes in the big blue fish tubs down there. And we'll dump them into the dumpsters here and then stack them over there.
Wow. A lot of glass.
Yeah. So this is a Tomra. It's an automated counting machine. We dump the bag of cans in the back end of it, and it goes up the hopper, and then it comes down into the singulator, which spins the cans out to the side onto the track, which will then feed it up along and into the bag. And as it enters the bag, it'll count one by one as the cans go in, and then there's certain sensors on there that'll make sure the cans aren't twisted or sideways or laying on top of each other or standing up, because it could get jammed up and cause problems with the counts.
So about how many cans would fit in this bag, give or take?
2,000.
2,000 cans, that's a lot.
Yeah, and it weighs somewhere probably in around 65 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is the side of the warehouse where we do all the baling and we store all the bag product. And you can see the numbers up on top. They represent the different sort types of the product that comes in from the Enviro depots. So we've got cardboard here. And then we've got big and small liquors, the 23 and 24. The Tetra Paks would be the 10s. The 1s would be the aluminum cans, and the 3 would be the plastic bottles. So here we're loading bales of aluminum to go down to Kentucky to be melted down and made into new cans. And it's kind of a turnaround to somewhere between 60 and 90 days from the time it leaves the store till it returns to the store.
Oh, some more coming in?
Yeah. And each one of those bales has somewhere around, I think it was 32,000 cans in there.
Wow. And do you make those bales right here in the facility?
Yep.
Impressive.
Yeah.
What's this huge truck I'm looking at?
This is a compaction trailer. It was one that was out on the road, and as you can see, all the dirt on it. But it takes bags of aluminum or plastic, number 3s, and compacts them on site, and then feeds them into there. And with those, when we're putting plastic bottles into them, we can get about 600 bags onto them. And when we're doing aluminum, we can get about 300, 350 bags on. And a traditional van trailer like this one in here, we can max out at about 75 bags.
Okay.
Yeah, so we've got a bale of aluminum here, and that's going to weigh somewhere around about 950 to 1,000 pounds, and generally speaking, there's 32 to 33 cans per pound, so almost 32,000 cans in there in one bale.
Wow. And what are these bales over there?
That is Tetra Paks, and they'd be the juice boxes. They'd be the ones that are square, and they've got an aluminum foil in between the cardboard outside or the paper outside and the plastic inside, so it helps store them and stabilize the product a little better.
All right, so you not only recycle aluminum and plastic, you're also recycling paper.
Cardboard, and there's steel over there in the corner, just the steel juice cans that you get, or some of the drinks now are coming in steel cans.
Yeah.
So,
interesting.
And the tomato juice and all that stuff too. So what we do here is we'll bring the bags over from the wall, and then we'll dump them into the pit here and onto the conveyor, and they'll go up into the hopper of the baler, and the baler will compress them up to about 4,000 pounds pressure until the bale gets to a certain size. That's predetermined by what we do. And then the baler will eject the bale, and then we'll take and put it on the other side with the other ones until we get enough for a load to be recycled. So.
All right, we're here at Divert, Nova Scotia, and I'm talking here with my friends, and they're going to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about Divert and what they do here, and a little bit about their job. So, do you want to go first, Rob?
Sure. I'm Rob Teale. I'm the warehouse manager here at Divert, and been here for just about 3 years, and working in the waste reduction facility, and in that industry is kind of where my heart has been since I was a little kid. I just didn't know it. So.
And I'm Kathryn Bremner. I'm the Programs and Development Officer for Divert Nova Scotia. And I work with educational programming, working to reduce waste and talk about recycling.
So, what's your day-to-day like in the role that you play here at Divert?
For me, it could be just about anything to do with any part of the warehouse, whether doing the paperwork to make sure everyone gets paid on time, or helping out on the floor and any of the aspects that get done out here, whether it's dumping glass or loading trailers or unloading trailers or helping at the baler or even helping with some of the maintenance side of things. But then there's the meeting side of it and trying to plan ahead and keep the staff busy, but also make the building more efficient from a work standpoint, but also from an environmental standpoint as well. So I like it because it keeps me busy and there's lots to do.
My day is a little bit different than Rob's because I work on the programs side of things. So we also do create our own educational resources. So we have a website. We have lesson plans and activities and videos that we create. So a lot of my day has to do with that. We also, within programs, do some research. So we've done a lot of research about littering. So we do some programming and provide funding for litter cleanups and litter research and educational campaigns.
So, how does Divert help the environment with everything that you're doing here?
So Divert runs the refundable or the beverage container recycling program in the province, as well as the tire recycling program. So with those two programs, we're preventing a lot of things from going to the landfill. We also, because they're being recycled, they get turned into new products. And so we reduce the need for raw materials and the mining and the extraction of new materials. So in Nova Scotia alone, we recycle over 400 million beverage containers a year. And over 1 million used tires get recycled. So those are the two programs that Divert NS runs. So that is a significant savings in greenhouse gas because we're reusing them and recycling them instead of creating new products. And for operational, I'll hand it over to Rob.
Yeah, so here at the warehouse, we put in a solar array just as I got started working here, and it was as big as we could go, and it was up to about 70% of what we would use in a year. And since then, we've got 5 new electric forklifts, which are really help to reduce our dependence and reduce the greenhouse gas emissions from burning propane versus electricity. And it also creates a cleaner environment for our staff out there. We don't have the fumes and byproducts coming out of the propane combustion process.
So, if you had some advice for students, younger and in high school, that wanted to get involved in recycling or at Divert, what would you tell them?
The first thing I would tell them would be to talk about it with their friends, with their teachers, and to ask questions. Like ask questions to your teachers and the school administration about what's being done in the school to reduce waste and to recycle, and get the information about it. There is also an opportunity to bring in experts into school. There's waste educators across the province that are available to come in for free to deliver lesson plans, but just to answer your questions. You can also form like an environmental group. A lot of schools have green teams or like an extracurricular activity where you can take some of your ideas and put them into place in your school.
For me, it's always been to follow my heart or my passions, and what really speaks to you, you'll know it when it hits you, and you need to follow that. Despite what you might hear from people in your life, you need to follow your heart, and that's what I did, and this is where I've ended up. So it's a good way for me to learn it, but maybe you can skip the 20 years it took me to follow it. So
That's great advice. Thank you so much for having us here at Divert and getting to see the recycling facility and see all of the beverage containers being sorted and crushed into those things. I definitely had a really fun time and learned lots and lots about Divert and how, you know, how our beverage containers are getting recycled here in Nova Scotia. So thank you so much for having us.
you're welcome.